So single pointed devotion, the love that is called devotion divine, is of the nature of immortality. It cannot go in this yo-yo fashion. It has to be one. It is called blissfulness. So the verse 3 says, the Sutra 3 says, the supreme love for the Lord, called devotion divine, is of the nature of immortality also. What is this immortality? Now let us say, immortality means there is neither the beginning nor the end. You are constant. That means there can be no birth and there can be no death. Every human being has a birth and a death. Every deity has a birth and a death. Remember that. If you Google what is the lifespan of Brahmaji, you will get the answer. What is the lifespan of Indra? You will get the answer. There is a certain lifespan. They can exist only during that period. After that, what happens? They go back to where they came from. Then a new Brahmaji will come. That Brahmaji will reign for a few more years, and then he will go away. Then another one will come. Then another one will come. And it keeps on happening. So, is Brahma immortal? No way. Same way, the other deities are also not immortal. They have birth and death, coming and going. And this immortality doesn't exist in a created domain. Please understand this. They are all under the sway of Prakriti, Mother Nature. She is the mother of everything. She creates and she destroys. But this Father that we are talking about, as we call him the Supreme God, Lord God, he is not created. He is not destroyed. There is nothing happening. He is the precursor. He is everything, the ultimate and immortal, of course. So he is talking about the supreme love of the Lord, for the Lord, called devotion divine, is of the nature of immortality also. This devotion is not fickle. It is not there just now, and then it is there, and then it is not there, and then it is there, and then it is not there, and then it is there. There is no yo-yo in that business, by the way. This devotion has to be continuous, and it's a single line. And there are no blips like this on the line, by the way. There is nothing like going up and coming down. Oh, today I am a devotion, I am a devotee of the Lord. Later on, I am not a devotee of the Lord. Tomorrow I am going to be thinking of something else. It's immortality. This absolute divine devotion is immortal. It cannot have a full stop, a comma, or anything. No punctuation marks anywhere. It's a continuous stream. Why is it a continuous stream? Because the divine Lord himself is continuous. There is nothing like, beginning or the end. If there was a beginning and the end, then he is not called God. Then he is taking birth and he is dying also. The truth about Krishna, which we have to understand, he has taken a form. He takes a form, is born, and then he dies. Now, this particular form that he takes is for doing something in this world. So in the Mahabharata, doesn't he say, I come here when dharma is disturbed? Doesn't he say that? When there is adharma in this world, I keep on coming so that I can put the thing back on track. And that is the only reason why he takes birth. And it's a very short lifetime that he takes. He takes a form, goes away. Takes another form, goes away. Takes another form, goes away. Does it mean that he is not eternal? No. When something has to be done, the divine has to take a form to do it. It's important to take a bodily form. It could be any. When Sri Ram took the form, Sri Ram is a form. He also had to meet his end. There is a form called the Parshuram, which is supposed to be eternal. When does this form come to an end? Actually, it doesn't come to an end. It's an eternal form. My Gurudev Dattatreya is an eternal form. But then, can it be eternal? Remember, Dattatreya had a birth. Right? Parshuram had a birth. So then where is that eternity thing coming in the picture? Well, understand it like this. Dattatreya is the eternal teacher. To teach something, he took a form. Simultaneously, there are multiple forms which he can take. So on this planet Earth, Dattatreya himself has taken multiple forms. When he was Narsimha Saraswati at one time, he was Shripad Vallabh at one time. He was Manik Prabhu at another time. He was Swami Samarth at one time. You understand? He could take multiple forms and keep on coming and coming and coming, because at that particular place or that particular time, something had to be adjusted out. You just take a form. It is like doing a small movie. You're taking a small role. You do that role and go away. Okay? The body can be discarded on this earth. Body is composed of those elements. Body is a form. It's just like the example of water that I give. A water that is filled in a bottle at one point in time, once it is drunk or once it is used for some purpose, it goes away. Somewhere it becomes a cloud, somewhere it rains. Sometimes it becomes a bottle, sometimes it becomes a lake, bottled water, sometimes a lake water, sometimes some other kind of water. So, takes various forms. Does it mean that the water went away? No, it doesn't mean that. It will keep on going and coming and going and coming and going and coming. That is how it works. So, this devotion divine is not a yo-yo. It is continuous. Just like eternity. It is happening continuously. Many a times people think that the Father in heaven gets angry, gets upset, brings all these viruses into the picture. He's very vengeful. You have mistaken. Why would he want to do any of those things? You think he's sitting up there to take revenge on a small fly like you? You are insignificant. A human being is insignificant in this entire creation of these universes. How many universes are there? Billions or trillions. Nobody knows. How many such kind of earths there might be? Nobody has any clue. How many people? Nobody has any clue. Today we have 7.5 billion people on earth. Another 20 years from now there will be more. Maybe after that there may be zero. And after that there will be 20 billion. Who knows? You are an insignificant creature who lives for just a few years and goes away. You think such a great Father in heaven is interested in taking revenge on you? I think you are completely off your rockers. You see, understand one thing, he is not interested in taking revenge. He puts me in trouble. Oh, why would he single you out and put you in trouble, by the way? He's not interested in you getting into trouble. It is like today in India or in America or UK or wherever, there are various places where the prime ministers and the presidents are announcing, because of coronavirus, we are going to have a shutdown. You think the prime minister of this country is singling out a person? You see, because of you, I am going to put this. He is not concerned with one person. He has got everything to take care of. He doesn't even know about your existence. You may be a small person somewhere in some part of India. Do you think the Prime Minister of India or the President of India knows you? Nobody knows you. You know him because you know who he is. But he doesn't know you. It's like today you know God. I'm talking about God. But you are among those gazillion creatures on this, just one small earth, this much only. Why would he single you out? So this idea that he is troubling me and he's put me in trouble and I am not getting this thing done because he is doing like this to me. I am going through troubled times. I don't have money. He is putting me through. All that is all nonsense. Please understand. Why would he want to do something like that? He is composed of pure divine love. He himself is Love. Why would somebody who is defined as love want to put you in some trouble? It's unconditional love. He's not expecting anything out of you. He doesn't think, oh, you got to do this for me. I think if such a great person wants you to be singled out, I want this thing to be done by you. Don't you think that he can replace you? He can just do a foo to you and replace you by another 100 more people. Do you get the point? Why would he single you out? So this kind of a thing is wrong. Devotion has to be unconditional love. There should be no condition. Single-pointed devotion. It's one-pointed devotion. We will come to this word quite often in this. So single-pointed devotion, the love that is called devotion divine, is of the nature of immortality. It cannot go in this yo-yo fashion. It has to be one. It is called blissfulness. Remember this word. There is a difference between happiness, joy, and all those other words, and the word called blissful. We are going to describe the word blissful in the coming few chapters.